So Cal Poly Ventures is a philanthropic fund that's used to invest in Cal Poly founded and affiliated startups. The really unique thing about Cal Poly Ventures is that it's a donor-funded investment fund. So donors are making these incredible gifts to Cal Poly that are in turn being used to invest in Cal Poly founded and affiliated startups. So any returns to the fund, they stay with Cal Poly to support the mission of the university and the CIE. 90% go back into the fund to grow it over time and allow us to make more and larger investments. And 10% comes to the CIE so we can expand programs for students.
So the Cal Poly Venture Fund is a fund that we envisioned as part of what we wanted the Cal Poly Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship to be in its second decade of existence. And it has really become that. It has certainly served the purpose of being able to take a stake in those companies that the CIE is involved in helping launch. And it's also a great way for us to stay connected with those founders that we've worked with that have gone on now into the world and launched their companies. And in many cases, this is a great opportunity for us to be able to stay engaged with them.
You know, through the CIE, Cal Poly now has been helping students grow in entrepreneurship for well over a decade. And the program's matured every year throughout that. And I just view this as really the next step in helping students understand where capital plays a key role in the financing of companies while they're students and while they're launching perhaps their first companies. But as well, it helps get students after graduation, when they're out building companies, a chance to continue to be involved with the university, to learn how to give back, to allow the university a chance to invest into their ongoing activities. And it just ends up tying entrepreneurship from the time of being a student well into somebody's professional life.
Well, one of the things we did recognize is how much of a challenge it is to really establish a fund of this nature at a university. And before we undertook designing what this fund ought to look like, we certainly talked to many other entrepreneurship programs around the country and understood what they did. And what we created was something that was a little bit unique and worked well for Cal Poly. What I was really pleased with is the fact that everybody at the university level really understood the vision about what value this fund would have and how important it would be for our entrepreneurship program, and work together to really make it happen. And that's not always a simple thing to do.
As we look at the future, it will be the entrepreneurs who solve the biggest challenges of our time. We want our students and alumni to lead those efforts. And again, I think it goes back to an entrepreneurial spirit, hard work ethic, and learn by doing pedagogy that we really have here at Cal Poly. That results in students that are ready for a lifetime of work, of learning, and a lifetime of problem solving.
The CIE team and what they're doing, they're really focused on, making this an experience and a value add for these entrepreneurs. And so over the next, 3 to 5 years, I really see that this community will continue to build and be able to, get more aggressive in its investing and really launch, be a bigger part of the launch of more companies.
When I look at working with this fund in particular, it's a way of putting in place a new learning tool, a tool that, frankly, to my knowledge, isn't available really at any other major institution. It's an extremely unique way to work with the university and to support both the students and the mission.
There's evolutionary change and there's revolutionary change. That's what we need this next decade. The Central Coast needs it. Cal Poly needs it. We need more diverse, more sustainable head of household jobs on the Central Coast, and the CIE and this venture fund can be a part of that.
I really want to, just thank and recognize our volunteer founders and donors to Cal Poly Ventures. Cliff Haas, Pete Moran, Chuck Templeton, and Matt Bonner. It's incredible what they're doing for the university, what they're doing for our entrepreneurial students, and what they're doing for the CIE.